Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your Monday morning dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I hope you had a great weekend. And today we are going to be talking about lesson number 12 in Robert Stuberg's course, Creating Your Ultimate Destiny. And the title of that lesson is Creating Certainty in an Uncertain World. And given the situations in the world right now, the market, the pandemic, the conflicts overseas, I tell you, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, and I think a lot of us have been struggling to try to create some certainty for ourselves, and so I think this lesson can be very appropriate for right now. So what I'd like to do, I've got a couple of things. Over the last 11 Mondays, this will be the 12th Monday, we've been studying these key elements to creating your ultimate destiny. We've talked about your beliefs and your decisions and your actions, your identity, your education, your focus, your unique talent, your feelings and emotions. We've even talked about your wealth and your resolve and your relationships. But today we're going to talk about courage. And courage is that ability to create certainty in an uncertain world. And so I want to start by playing a little snippet of Robert summarizing this particular lesson in less than a minute. And then I want to break it down and go back and go through a couple of these core concepts with you. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to go ahead and cue up Robert for about a minute, and then I'll come back and let's dig in.
Because we're surrounded by so much uncertainty, we have a natural drive to impose as much certainty in our lives as possible. Unfortunately, to achieve this, most of us start by trying to order our outer worlds, not realizing that the foundation of certainty must come from within ourselves. To create a foundation of certainty, you must start taking control of many aspects of your life that most people consider uncontrollable, such as your emotions, your values, your identity, and your destiny itself. Begin down the twin paths of your destiny, simultaneously becoming the sort of person you need to make your dreams a reality and performing the actions required to achieve your goals. By breaking your big goals into more manageable units, designating a reasonable and motivational time frame, and taking some sort of action every day, you'll soon be stockpiling your successes as never before. But no life can be 100% certain, and who would want such a life? Uncertainty is what gives your life variation and texture and adventure. And no matter how much we plan, the future is always to some degree uncertain. So don't approach it timidly. Leap boldly into the river of life and begin creating the future you want. Remember, tomorrow is always too late to begin living. Your ultimate destiny begins right now.
Okay, I really hope you enjoyed that snippet from Robert. He is truly a master mentor at simplifying and outlining steps that you need to take change and create change in your life. So let's go back, and I want to talk to you for a few minutes about a couple of the key things that he mentioned, things that I think you need to put some extra thought into. The first is that, he talked about the need we all feel to create certainty in our lives. And, we all feel this need when stuff's out of control and things around us are going crazy. But I want to emphasize what he said here, because most of us are looking to create certainty in our outer world, in the environment around us, the people around us, our job situation, our living situation, whatever it is. And this is simply a recipe for disaster, and we have to learn. And I really want you to think about the fact that real certainty can only come from creating that within ourselves. The real foundation of certainty comes from within. And we need to look at a really, really close, we got to really observe how we can focus on controlling the things that, honestly, most people feel you can't control, but I'm convinced you can. And that's your emotions, your values, your identity, the things that you need in order to create your ultimate destiny. And so what we want to do is we want to begin to learn that we can do these things internally, and we can start to focus on that, and certainty will come in a much quicker way for us. The second thing Robert talked about is, and this I really want to emphasize, is that certainty is a lot of times equal to the amount of confidence and strength that you can create in your life. I know you've probably been in one of those situations or in situations in your life where your confidence is something that continues to draw you in the direction of opportunities. When you're confident, you're not only open to opportunities, but you're much more likely to control your destiny. And confidence and strength, which are two different things, are both things that can help you to create destiny and certainty, But the more you have those, the more certainty you create, and the more certainty you create, the more confidence and strength that you'll have. So those things come really hand in hand. And it's critical for this reason that I draw you back to the idea of what are your daily rituals? What are you doing to create discipline and consistency in your life? Because doing what you say you're going to do is what helps you to build confidence. It helps you to build that internal confidence to take you to the next level. And our destiny is going to be this driving force that's going to pull us in the direction of certainty. And in order to move forward in your destiny, you've got to know what you can do in your life on a daily basis. And that's your daily rituals, and that's your consistency and discipline that you develop. Now, we talked, or you heard a minute there, and in the program we talk about two paths that you're going to travel at the same time towards your destiny. And one is a path of learning to take control of your life, your emotions, your inner game. And the other is taking action to move you closer to your destiny, because we're trying to create the best version of ourselves, but we can only do that by taking action and moving forward with the version that we have. And so you've got to travel both of these paths at the same time. And we can do this simply by setting goals and breaking those goals down into bite-sized pieces. And it really amazes me to this day how many of us just don't do the simplest little thing, and that's goal setting. So what are your goals? And what are your 2, 3, 5, 10-year goals? And have you worked those backwards and broke them down into bite-sized chunks that you can work on a day-to-day basis? Because so many of us overestimate what we can do in the short term, and we underestimate what we could do in the long term if we start to just pick away at these goals in little bite-sized pieces. And that's something I can help you. I can attest to you will help you to get closer to your destiny. Ultimately, I've learned in my life and from many mentors that I've worked with and personal experience, that the person that battles and wins the battle in their mind and that learns to create, build, and manifest their inner world is ultimately going to live in the outer world that they want to live in. And it's that saying that you've heard many, many times before. All of us, our outer world is just a reflection of our inner world. And so we've got to begin to create certainty. And one more last thought I think is important to just remind you of is we all need a bit of uncertainty in our life. If everything was just predictable and easy and you always knew what was going to happen, you had no variety, it's like Robert and Tony Robbins and many others say, we need both uncertainty and certainty. So just understand that and be patient and enjoy the journey. The journey is going to have uncertainty. That's what makes it worth living. That's what gives you variety in life. So just remember, a little bit of certainty is a good thing. And with that being said, I hope you have an amazing week. I'm looking forward to giving you some great content this week. But do me a favor and share this episode with someone. Just share the episode, share our message, help us to grow the podcast. And I'd appreciate it, mean the world to me. I hope you have an amazing day. This has been the Daily Mastermind, and my name is George Wright. I will talk with you tomorrow.